So this count we have today, this gospel message, this is in all four of the gospels, this miracle. So right away we know that this is something that's particularly important, that the Holy Spirit wants us to take notice that it's being repeated through all four. And there's good reason for that. And as I mentioned about the reflection of the message, this world there's two kingdoms, right? So the ruler of this world is Satan, the beast, and then we have Jesus, the Lamb. And you have to choose, right? You have to choose which kingdom am I going to be part of? And today, more than ever, we're seeing more signs of the power of Satan is growing, and he's becoming more demonstrative in his antics, in the way he's doing things. The chaos, the confusion, the fear, it's all amping up, right? So we can give in to those things and just kind of give our assent to all the chaos in the world and dig into that and spend our time going around and around in a circle, or we become part of the kingdom of the Lamb and we do his bidding. But we have to choose. You have to be intentional. So what happened here today with this miracle is very interesting. He's testing his own apostles because he wants them to grow from this experience. And he's making a point to draw out of them what they're thinking is going to happen here. And of course, they're operating with the wisdom of the world. There's no way there's enough food here. We can't do this. We can't find any food for these people. What's interesting to me, though, is, Andrew is a unique guy. Andrew brings everybody he knows to Jesus, even his own brother. And today we see the same thing. Andrew finds the kid with the fish and he brings him right over to Jesus. Here, this kid has a little bit of food, but what are we going to do with it? And of course, Jesus takes the tiny little bit that he's given and does this tremendous miracle. Tremendous. This is the power of his kingdom, to do these great miracles that not only physically help these people with giving them nourishment because they're tired and they're hungry, but also feeds their soul. This miracle would give them such great faith that they would see that he can do these things. And when it's all said and done, there's 12 baskets left over. Just the overabundant generosity of God for his people. And these apostles will never forget this because he made a point about, how are we going to feed them? And we have to be the same way, when we look at the things God's doing, not only in the past, but in our own lives. He is still a God who is a father. He takes care of his children. He can still multiply food. He can still provide. There's nothing he can't do for us, but you have to kind of give him the open door to come into your life and work. We kind of, the West, we like to cover all our bases, insurance policies on everything. Very difficult for God to move in that scenario because we're already taking care of everything we possibly can. And usually we only see him moving when we're in a crisis where we can't fix it. And that's better than nothing, but we really should be giving him permission every day to move in great power. Now, is he still doing things like this? He is doing things like this. In fact, years ago, probably 15, maybe 20 years ago, when I was in Medjugorje in the first few times I went with my friend Father Tom DiLorenzo, and we had dinner with Sister Emmanuel. We cooked her spaghetti and meatballs in her home. And she was telling us a story that the sisters were in charge of, there was a picnic for orphans, about 250 orphans coming, and they were in charge of the dessert. And so they decided on this pudding cups, and they had like a 12-pack of these pudding cups that was brought to Sister Emmanuel. Said, is this going to work? She said, that'll be great. Make sure we have enough for all these kids. And the sister in charge of getting those pudding cups mixed the days up, and the picnic came and she didn't have the pudding cups. So she took the 12-pack to Sister and said, what are we going to do? We only have 12. And Sister prayed, and then she said, just put them at the end of the line past the hot food. And she said, isn't that going to be a problem when we have only 12 kids are going to get pudding? She said, just put them at the end. And all 250 kids went through that line, and everybody got a pudding cup. And Sister said to me, she was so excited about the cups. And I said, what's the big deal with the cups? Why are you excited about the cups? She goes, the cups are the physical evidence of the miracle. We kept all the cups. We packaged them up in big garbage bags so we would have the proof, just like the baskets, the 12 baskets. She said, we have the proof that he multiplied the cups. So you see, when you trust in God, when you say to him, you are my God, you are the one who provides, you are the one who can work the miracles. And then you sit back, and that kind of faith, you will always have a front row for God's miracles. Always. And that's what he's looking for from his children. He's looking for us to have that kind of faith where we can just say, Lord, I can't do this, but you can do anything. Please step in now. And that's what we have to remember in the days ahead, because this battle is going to get more fierce. And the temptation is to sit down and get drawn into the TV and the YouTube and all the rabbit holes we can go down with all the crazy things that are happening. But that doesn't do any good. In fact, it makes things worse because you get more anxiety, more stress, higher blood pressure. So we need to be following the Lamb and doing things by his standards, and the world will change.